And once again, we welcome you back into Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium here on the campus of Collinsville High School. I am Todd Duke, alongside my camera guy, Zach Roseman, and we are just about set for game number 4. I forgot to write down game number 3. How about that, huh? 88-77 was our score as Rockford East down Decatur Eisenhower. And that gets us set up for this matchup between East St. Louis and Althoff. The winner will take on Rockford East after that win. For Althoff, they are coached by Greg Lieb. They are 5-4 on the year, 3-1 in the South Severn Conference. That gives them third place right now. They're averaging 58 points per game on offense and giving up about 54.4 for Althoff. Lieb is in his 21st year, 338 wins, 219 losses. They went 4-23 last year. That after winning the state championship in 2016 when they went 32-2. That was the Jordan Goodwin-led Althoff Crusaders. Goodwin, of course, now in his sophomore year over at St. Louis University. They took second place in the 14-15 season. 7 regional championships under Lieb in those 21 years, 3 sectionals and 2 super sectionals. In this tournament, Althoff is in its 17th year. They are 37-22, and they are 2-time champs. They won it all in 2008, and then just a couple years ago in 2015, they have finished in second place 4 times, third place 3 times, and fourth place 1 time. For the East St. Louis Flyers, tell you what, papers would cooperate, that'd be a lot better. They are coached by Mark Chambers, and right now the Flyers are 10-2. They are 5-1 in Southwestern Conference action and in third place. They're averaging 65.3 points per game scoring and giving up 57.5. Chambers is in his second year, went 16-11 in his first year, and both years no sectional championships, but a regional championship under his belt. And at this tournament, East St. Louis is in its 19th year playing in this tournament. They are 53-19. They are 4-time champions of this tournament. Back-to-back years in 98 and 99. They won again in 2006 and then again in 2012. They have finished in second place once, third place 4 times, fourth place 1 time, and 3 times the East St. Louis have been consolation champions. So there you are set between both of these schools as we get you set for this matchup between East St. Louis and Althoff. Back with the starting lineups in just a moment here on the Kahoks Sports Network.
Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is a T3 certified tire center, and they can handle all of the basics like oil changes and tune-ups and the not so basic stuff like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations, Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611 online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook. Pack Mail, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail, 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville, online, weshipstlouis.com, or call 346-4884. All Pro Tees is your place for custom apparel for your school, business, sports team, and more. All Pro Tees offers a variety of services and options, and they'll walk you through that process step by step. They pride themselves in being a local Collinsville business, and they specialize in helping their clients promote and grow that business, all with custom apparel. All Pro Tees, right across the street from Kahoks Stadium. Online at allprotees.com or call 344-2200.
Once again, we welcome you back to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium as we get you set for this 4th game of the day between East St. Louis and the Althoff Crusaders. Here are your starting lineups. First for Althoff, Ethan Brown, a 6'1" sophomore, followed by Dalton Brugner, a 6'5" junior, Jack Bruning, a 5'10" junior. Greg Wells, a 6'2" junior, and Patrick Redeye, a 6'7" junior. Man, they got some height. For East St. Louis, Richard Robertson, the 6'7" senior, gets the start, as does Elijah Rice, the 6'3" senior. Cornelius LaFleur, a 6'1" senior. Armand Williams, a 6'8" junior, and Terrence Hargrove, a 6'7" senior. We have got some height here in this game between East St. Louis and the Althoff Crusaders. Of course, these two teams, no strangers to each other here at this tournament. They hooked up in a real good one just a couple of years ago. That would have been the Belleville Edwardsville beating Althoff 83-75 in 2016. That was after East St. Louis lost in the semifinal game to Althoff in that barn burner of a game that went down to the final second. East St. Louis ended up taking third place, while Althoff ended up taking second after losing to Edwardsville in that 2016 tournament. In the 2015 tournament, Althoff defeated Decatur MacArthur 85-55 to win that first place trophy that year. So this one should be a pretty good matchup, I would think, as both of these teams experience some really tall basketball players out here. Althoff, they are the road team. They are in their navy blue uniforms, trimmed in a little bit of gold. Numbers are in gold. Althoff Catholic in gold across the fronts of their jerseys. The Flyers are the home team. They're dressed in the whites, trimmed in a little blue and orange. Numbers are in orange with the words Flyers written across the fronts of their jerseys. Hargrove wins the toss, and back into the backcourt it goes. We are underway. And for East St. Louis, here is Elijah Rice. Rice passes the ball over to LaFleur. Back to the top of the key. That is Williams. Williams ditches it off, and then a little dribble drive, kicked back out front. And here is Robinson. Robinson gives it back to Rice, and Rice throws it away. So the Flyers start off with a turnover to begin. Winner of this game will take on Rockford East tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning. That'll be right after the Springfield Southeast Edwardsville game to kick off winners bracket quarterfinal action tomorrow morning. Here are the Althoff Crusaders. At the top of the key, a little dribble drive by Bruegner, kicked it back out front, now over onto the wing for Bruning. Bruning dumps it off into the corner, and bringing it around from there is Brown. Brown from the left wing, back to the top of the key now for Wells, and over into the far side corner for Bruegner. Dribble drive, baseline shot, rolls across the net, and a putback tip in by Patrick Reddy. So Reddy gets the scoring started, and a loose ball, diving attempt there by Bruegner, and you can hear that thud hit the ground as he went chest first into the floor here at Virgil Fletcher. Inbound pass set to come in for East St. Louis from Elijah Rice. Rice gets it to Hargrove. Back out to the top of the key for LaFleur. Back to Hargrove, free throw line, takes the shot, turns around and sinks it. 2-2 is our score here early on. Just underway in quarter number one. Turnover by Althoff. And here is Rice with a shot from the corner that doesn't hit the mark, and a rebound will be whistled dead after a foul that is going to be coming up against Richard Robinson from East St. Louis. .6:39 left to play here in this opening quarter. Inbound pass comes into Brown, who slings it across the court for Wells. He drives, dumps it off, and a shot by already. Doesn't hit the mark. And the putback by Wells does. 4-2, Althoff. Here comes Rice. Rice across the timeline. At the top of the key, gives it up for Williams. Williams, the 6'8" junior, all over across the way for Rice, the 6'3" senior. He drives, and I don't know how he got away with that travel, but he did. Arnold Williams gets the loose ball. Armand Williams, not Arnold, excuse me. And a little dipsy doodle drive for Ethan Brown. And the Crusaders are back up by 2, 6-4. 5:40 left to play here in this opening quarter. Here is Rice. Rice at the top of the key, gives it up to the very tall and lanky Armand Williams. Three-point shot for Williams, doesn't hit the mark, and the ball ends up going out of bounds. Ethan Brown tried to save it for Althoff, but he couldn't. So the Flyers will inbound from underneath of their own basket. 5.5 to go here in this first quarter. 6-4 in favor of Althoff. Here's Hargrove. Hargrove dribbles and drives into the lane, takes the shot, can't get it to go. Rebound belongs to the 6'7" junior, Patrick Reddy. Now Brown with it. Into the corner, head fake, Wells drives, reverse. I don't know what that reverse was. That was a reverse throw it over my shoulder and put up a hope and a prayer kind of shot. And the outlet pass comes all the way down, setting up in the corner. LaFleur with a three-point shot. That won't hit the mark. Rebound belongs to Brown. Brown brings it across the timeline for Althoff. And over on the wing, here's a bluff on a Bruning three-point nod, and he ditches it off, and a shot taken just outside the lane by Brugner. Misses the mark, and a dunk at the other end by Williams does not miss the mark. We are tied at 6. 4:40 left to play here in this first quarter. Flyers putting on a little bit of backcourt pressure, but Althoff breaks it. Now at the top of the key, it is Brown. Brown dribbles and drives outside the lane, kicks it into the corner, and Bruning with a shot from there. That's good for 3. And the Crusaders back out front by 3, 9-6, 4:20 left to play here in this first quarter. Here comes Elijah Rice, the 6'3" senior, over into the corner. That's where it ends up with Williams. Now back out front, Hargrove just in front of the free throw line, takes the shot, can't get it to fall as he bumps right into the chest of Patrick Reddy. Reddy will pick up his first foul. Each team now has 1. And at the free throw line, it is Terrence Hargrove. Hargrove, ready to go. First shot on the way, and good. Hargrove coming in, a 65.5% free throw shooter on the year. Hargrove back at the free throw line, averaging 18.7 points per game. As next shot is good. And the Flyers get back to within 2, 9-7. Althoff brings the ball up court, but not for very long, just as it crossed the timeline. East St. Louis picks up a loose ball, and after a try there by Jones, the putback was good by Hargrove. And now another turnover and another putback, this one by Oliveria. Althoff having a hard time getting the ball inbounded. They finally do. And here is Ethan Brown, but not before the Flyers take a lead, 11-9. This just after Althoff had a three-point lead. On the wing, Brugner. Brugner back out to the top of the key over on the far side for Brown. Brown from the left wing back over to the right wing now for Brugner, and then back to Brown. Brown bluffs his way inside the perimeter. 3:15 left here in this first quarter between East St. Louis and Althoff. There was a stuff shot by Richard Robinson, the 6'7" senior, all over the top of the 6'1" sophomore Ethan Brown. Althoff keeps it. And back out toward the timeline, it is Bruning. Bruning gets it over to Brugner. Brugner in front of the East St. Louis bench, drives baseline, skips it out along the other side. Over here on the right wing, Bruning takes it, shot, no good. Bruning gets his own rebound and then throws it off of the body of Jarrell Davis, or excuse me, Elijah Rice. And out of bounds, and our first substitution for Althoff will bring in Anthony Reed, and he'll take the place of Jack Bruning. 11-9, Flyers have the 2-point lead. 2:56 left to play here in this first quarter. Inbound pass from underneath of the Althoff basket. Into the corner to the just inserted Anthony Reed. He can't get out of the corner. The ball does. as it's picked off by East St. Louis, but then the Flyers turn the ball back over after a pass that was a little bit too far in front of Jabril Oliveria, the 5'10" junior. Pass right underneath our location by Brugner. He gets it in to Reed. Reed fires it up to the timeline, then across the timeline with a pass to Wells. Wells in the perimeter. Cross-court pass. Over on the wing. Three-point shot coming. That misses the mark from Brugner's hands. Rebound is into the hands of Terrence Hargrove. Hargrove floats from the free throw line through the lane for 2 more points for him. Hargrove now has 7 as the inbound pass comes all the way out to Reddy. Reddy loses control of the ball. Hargrove comes up with it. Terrence Hargrove moves back up to the top of the key, kicks it into the corner. 3-point shot coming from Rice. That misses the mark, but the putback is good by Travion Jones. And it's 15-9 in favor of the Flyers. After that 3-point shot that gave the Flyers their 9 points, they have been stuck ever since. At that point, it was 9-6. So 9 straight points unanswered here by East St. Louis. And now we have a whistle as Elijah Rice will be guilty of a foul. That'll be his second, team second. And Rice will head to the bench as Basquine comes into the game for the first time. 1:52 left here in this first quarter. 15-9 Flyers of East St. Louis with the lead. Inbound pass belongs to Althoff, right off the glass. Mac Harris banks it off the glass for 2, and that breaks a 9-0 run by the East St. Louis Flyers. Here are the Flyers. Basquine with it to Hargrove. Hargrove off of his hand, back out to Basquine. Now onto the corner for Jones. He takes a 3-point shot that misses the mark. Rebound being battled for, and now we're going to have a foul called. This one looks like it's going to go against Oliveria. Oliveria will pick up his first foul. First personal, team third. Althoff brings the ball up. On to the wing, that's Reed. And a foul after that. And Reed. Wow, that one sounds kind of, wow. Shot taken, nothing doing. Here's Hargrove. Hargrove has it at the midcourt stripe. He dribbles, he drives through the lane, takes the shot, can't get it to fall. And a foul will be called as Hargrove will head back to the free throw line. Hargrove just hit a couple from there. 1:05 left to play here in this opening quarter. 15-11, 4-point lead belongs to the Flyers. Hargrove. Good on the first. Hargrove came in having hit 36 of 55 free throws. He's 2 of 3 here in this first quarter. Next one on the way, and that one misses the mark, so he's hit half. 2 of 4. Rebound belongs to Althoff. And now the ball on the floor, and now a jump ball called, and that'll put the ball into the hands of the Crusaders, so they do not lose possession. Inbound pass will come in from Brugner underneath of the East St. Louis basket. Gets it into the hands of Mac Harris, who gets it into the hands of Brown. Brown tries working his way up court. 50 seconds left to play here in this first quarter. Back up to Brown. Brown into the paint area. A shot on the fly. Count the bucket for Anthony Reed, and Reed will head to the free throw line. Reed at the free throw line for the first time. 88% free throw shooter on the year. Small sample size, but nevertheless, 88% is 88%, and he just upped that after hitting his one shot. That makes it 16-14. 2-point lead for the Flyers. We're down to the final 30 seconds here in this first quarter. There is Oliveria, who gets the ball into the hands of Jones. Jones over on the far side. Dribble drive by LaFleur, and a collision of bodies underneath the basket. Foul. William Ake of Althoff, guilty of his first foul. For the Crusaders, that's their third. Flyers have 5 on the board already here in this first quarter. 24 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Inbound pass coming in from Oliveria to Hargrove. Hargrove in front of Coach Greg Lieb and the Althoff bench. Here's LaFleur. He'll back the ball up now to Jones. 10 seconds left here in this first quarter. Jones dribbles, drives, kicks it back out, and over onto the wing, LaFleur. Now Jones in the corner, three-point shot, no good. Gets it back, puts it up, and at the buzzer, nobody can get it in. 16-14 after 1 quarter of play. We will head to the second quarter with the Flyers up by 2 on the Kahoks Sports Network.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahawk Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Todd Duke and Zach Roseman back with you here from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. After 1 quarter of play, the East St. Louis Flyers have a 2-point advantage, 16-14. And the Flyers will have the ball back to begin this second half. Winner will face Rockford East tomorrow morning at 10:30 in the second quarterfinal on the winner's bracket. We're back underway in quarter number 2. Here is Oliveria bringing the ball up for East St. Louis. Bluffs a pass down the middle, fires one out over onto the side wing, and excuse me, 3-point shot by Carlton King, the 6'4" senior, seeing his first action here in this game. Althoff still in the backcourt, working their way forward. With the ball, Wells. Wells all the way down into the deep corner for Ake. Now back over to Reddy, and Reddy has that ball knocked out of his hands by Jones. And the Crusaders will keep it, and they'll inbound from underneath of their own basket. 30 seconds into this second quarter. Up underneath, turnaround jump shot, no good there by Reddy, and the rebound belongs to East St. Louis. Here is Hargrove into the corner. Now back out to the top for King. He'll Jones over on the far. LaFleur misses the mark, and the rebound belongs to the Crusaders. Wells, he'll pull a shot from baseline, and a foul will be called right in the midst of that shot. Oliveria, and it'll be 2 shots coming up for Greg Wells. Wells, 75% free throw shooter on the year. Elijah Rice checks back into the game for East St. Louis. Wells ready, misses. Rebound comes out the right side for East St. Louis. Terrence Hargrove Jr. brings the ball across the time. Free. 21-14. Flyers are up. And a picked off pass will give the Flyers another opportunity, and now the ball ends up out of bounds, as Dalton Brugner could not corral it, and then he ends up hitting it off the top of his shoe and bounds. Inbound pass will come in for East St. Louis underneath of the LaFleur all the way back out front, intended for Hargrove. Brugner steps in front of that and picks it off. Althoff moves the ball up court. Big man over into the corner. Back out for Brugner. Brugner for Wells. Wells dribbles back to Brugner. Three-point shot from the right wing. Rattles but won't fall. Hargrove, he's there with the rebound for the Flyers. Takes it all the way and off the glass for 2 points. And Hargrove now up to 12 points. There's Wells. Another picked off pass by East St. Louis. Up to LaFleur. 3-point shot. Good. Coach Lieb has seen enough. He wants to take a timeout. Let's go ahead and thank the fine folks putting on this tournament. Prairie Farms, the 35th annual Collinsville Holiday Classic, is brought to you by farmer-owned and locally produced Prairie Farms. Prairie Farms, the official sponsor of the Collinsville Holiday Classic, is supplying all athletes here with chocolate milk after each game. Get on the road to recovery with delicious Prairie Farms chocolate milk. For more information, you can visit their website, prairiefarms.com. 5:07 left to play in this first half. This is our fourth game of the day. We're almost halfway through. Inbound pass comes in. Althoff trailing by 12, 26-14. Wells trying to bring it up along with Brugner. They finally do with a pass to the top of the key. Back over to Brugner. Brugner backs it up. Now into the corner. Back out front for Brown. Ethan Brown dribbles his way over to the left wing. Now top of the key for Wells. Wells dribbles and drives in the paint. Can't get the shot up, as that ball was knocked out of bounds by East St. Louis. Hargrove to the bench. Armand Williams checks back in now for the Flyers. 5:22 left to play here in this first half, and before we can even get the inbound pass in, a foul committed by Elijah Rice. That'll be his first, team 7th, so 1-and-1 time already here for Althoff. And at the free throw line, it'll be Dalton Brugner. Brugner, 62% from the free throw line this year. Brugner has 2 shots trying to get his team back to within 10. First one, no good, so he will not get the second one. Rebound. That belongs to East St. Louis. And here come the Flyers, and Elijah Rice underneath the basket. Put-up attempt. Couldn't fall the first time for Williams, but he gets the second one, and he'll get a bonus shot as well. Patrick Reddy commits his second foul, 4th team foul now for Althoff. And Armand Williams to the free throw line, where he is 37.5% from there, and that just dropped after that miss. And the rebound by Patrick Reddy for Althoff. Crusaders bringing it up across the timeline with Brugner. Brugner travels. This place is starting to fill up now. Decatur, MacArthur, and O'Fallon set to tangle next after this game, before we have the dinner break, before the host Collinsville Kahoks take to the floor at 6:30. Nice moves. Nice dribbling. The pass almost was thrown away. Here is a dribble drive by Travion Jones. 30-14 in favor of East St. Louis. Here's Brown. And a whistle before up. This one's going to go against Elijah Rice, and just like that, Rice has 2 quick fouls. 8th team foul for East St. Louis. To the free throw line, it'll be Ethan Brown. Brown, 27% from the free throw line. They've been struggling from the free throw line this year, has some of these Crusaders. Brown, his first shot will not result in a second one. Rebound belongs to the Flyers. They bring it up. Here's Jones. He's across the timeline, puts on a nifty move, and then just ditches it off to Williams. And Williams, outside that right post, pretty much just has to reach up with that 6'8" frame of his and put it off the glass with a couple of fingertips. Crusaders move the ball down. Flyers get the rebound. Oh, a little head fake, but too hard off the glass. And the Flyers could not get that one to fall. That was Johnson on that try. Rice picks up his 3rd foul in about 5 minutes, and that will send Brugner back to the free throw line. Well, they changed that one to Trevion Jones. And that'll be the 2nd one for Jones. Brugner, no one can hit a free throw here for Althoff. Rebound. Althoff misses one of these free throws, belongs to East St. Louis. Here come the Flyers. Jones just outside the lane, off the glass, rolls across the rim. Can't get it to fall. Rebound, put back up, and in by Jones. Foul to boot. Harris commits his first, team 5th. And to the free throw line, it will be Trevion Jones. Jones on the year, 47.4%. Rebound belongs to Harris. Althoff trying to work the ball up court with 3:35 left to play here in this first half. Brugner as the Crusaders call a timeout. And they'll have to regroup after that one. Let's thank some more of our sponsors, shall we? How about Metro East Roofing and Guttering? They are locally owned and operated since 1987 by brothers and Kahawk alums, Tony and Corey Jones. Metro East Roofing and Guttering help with all of your roofing, guttering, and located at 12 Collinsville. Metro East, the hometown company that you know and trust. Give them a call at 618-345-679 today for your free estimate, and make sure at Metro East and Guttering. 3:32 left to play here in this first half. 34-14, 20-point lead for East St. Louis. Flyers work the ball up court. And they throw it away. Here's Williams. He throws it away. Back-to-back turnovers will put the ball back into the hands of the Althoff Crusaders, and it's like deja vu all over again. Brugner will inbound from underneath of the East St. Louis basket. He'll get the ball right back. And Anthony Reed takes it across the timeline for the Crusaders. Backs it up to Brugner. Over here on this near side wing, Wilson. Wilson gives it back to Brugner, who gives it back to Wilson. Wilson dribbles on the right wing, top of the key, three-point shot. That one's off to the left-hand side by Greg Wells. Rebound belongs to the Flyers. 34-14, 2:50 left to play here in this first half. Here are the Flyers and Andre Gillespie. Well, ball popped up in the air, and Althoff will take control. Greg Wells. Wells off the glass, can't get it to fall. Rebound, that belongs to Wilson. Instead of turning around and shooting it, he tried to turn around and pass it. And that ball ends up getting knocked out of bounds. I don't know. Connor Wilson was right there at the doorstep of that basket when he found that ball in his hands. All he had to do was turn around and bank it off the glass, but instead he chose to pass. That results in a turnover. And Andre Gillespie will inbound. And the Flyers bring it back up court. Far side wing. Bounce pass to Hargrove. Hargrove, baseline, jumper, 10 feet away. Can't get it to fall. Rebound belongs to Althoff, and here comes Brugner. Brugner gets it up now to Brown. Brown on the right wing with a cross-court pass onto the left wing for Wilson. Wilson's dribble drive gets cut off. Flyers pick up another Althoff turnover, and that turns into another East St. Louis turnover. Here comes Brugner. Brugner off the baseline, can't get it to fall. Hargrove with the rebound, puts it up into the hands of LaFleur. His shot won't hit the mark. Rebound to Williams, and he throws that one away. There's Anthony Reed for Brugner. Brugner, get that out of here, says Hargrove. And the ball still stays in the hands of Althoff. Anthony Reed makes it count for 2 points. 3-point shot, no good, but heading to the free throw line for 3 is going to be Cornelius LaFleur. Wilson picks up his first foul. Crusaders, they're 6th as a team. And at the free throw line for East St. Louis, Cornelius LaFleur. He hits one. He'll have 2 more coming his way. And LaFleur, 86.4% on the year from the free throw stripe. One more coming. Actually, 2 more. Sorry. Hit the first 2, trying to turn that play from beyond the 3-point stripe into a 3-point play from the different stripe. LaFleur hits all 3. 37-16, 21-point lead for East St. Louis. We are down to the final 80 seconds left to play here in this first half. There's a little floater in the lane by Reed that couldn't hit the mark. East St. Louis with the rebound. Harris. Bruning. This LaFleur to score some points. That stops the clock with 1:11 left to play here in this first half. Inbound pass from the Flyers comes into Hargrove. Hargrove right in front of the Althoff bench. Takes it around toward the top of the key. Now back out to midfield. Free throw line. Shot. No good. Rebound. Put back up. No good. Jones couldn't connect. Back out front we go. Sean Johnson won't work, and the rebound belongs to Althoff, but they throw the ball away. Here is Johnson through the lane. Right into the wing in the corner for Bruning, and now back the other way we go. Here is Anthony Reed. Get that out of here, says Hargrove. Into the paint, off the side of the backboard for LaShawn. That one's going to go against Mac Harris. That'll be his second. Team 7th for the Crusaders. 29 seconds left here in this first half. LaShawn Johnson at the free throw line. Misses the first one. Johnson, the 6th lead now for East St. Louis. A couple of touch passes down the other way. Here is Bruning. Bruning backs it up now for Brown. Brown dribbles and drives in the perimeter at the free throw line. Lost the ball, picks it back up, takes a shot, no good. Terrence Hargrove with the rebound, and quickly the Flyers move it back down. Three-point shot, rattles, won't fall. The try at the putback by LaShawn Johnson. Got some oohs and ahs from the crowd, but still resulted in no basket. Andre Gillespie picks up his first foul, and that is the 10th team foul for the Flyers. Will put on the free throw line. Bruning has hit 50% of his shots, and that'll go up a little farther after that first one. It's at 38-17, 21-point lead. Bruning trims it down to 10. 5.2 seconds left. Flyers into the front court. Top of the key, shot at the buzzer. Count it. So a buzzer at the basket will send us to halftime. 40-18. At the end of one half of play in favor of the East St. Louis Flyers. We'll take a break. We'll come back and shoot some first half numbers your way. We'll do that in just a moment here on the Kahoks Sports Network.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
I'm a hot babe out jogging. I'm out making sure this stays a 10 when you drive by. You're checking out my awesome headband when... Oops. That's when you find out your cut rate insurance, it ain't paying for this. So get Allstate. Save cash and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands? Call me, Mike Cluck with Allstate, for a quote today.
Agape in Collinsville. Cafe Agape serves up delicious sandwiches, burgers, steaks, pulled pork, and the Collinsville favorite, the steak and onion sandwich. Cafe Agape has weekly lunch and dinner specials with pork steak Wednesdays, meatloaf Thursdays, and fish every Friday. Cafe Agape also offers catering service, and you can get Cafe Agape delivered now through the To-Go delivery app. Cafe Agape is open Monday through Friday from 11 to 7, and they're located at 703 St. Louis Road in Collinsville, or call 345-CAFE. That's 345-2233.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, one half of play in the books here between East St. Louis and Althoff. East St. Louis Flyers have a 40-18 lead, and the leading scorer in this one is Terrence Hargrove with 12 points. He is the only one in double digits thus far. Armand Williams pretty close with 8 points. Cornelius LaFleur with 6 for the Flyers. Also Travion Jones with 6 points. 3 points belongs to Carlton King. 2 each for Andre Gillespie and Jabril Oliveria, and then 1 point for LaShawn Johnson. For Althoff, they are being led in points by a couple of different players. Anthony Reed and Jack Bruning each have 5 points, and then 2 points apiece for Ethan Brown, Greg Wells, Patrick Reddy, and Mac Harris. From the lines, Althoff has hit 1 3-pointer. They are 1 of 5. East St. Louis has taken 12 3-point shots and have just hit 2 of them. From the free throw line, Althoff struggling. They have hit 3 of 8, while the Flyers have hit 6 of 11. Rebound effort being won by East St. Louis, out rebounding Althoff right now 29 28-21. Althoff has had a turnover problem. They've turned the ball over 13 times. You couple that with a 1-for-5 performance from the three-point stripe and a 3-for-8 performance from the free throw line, and that spells a little bit of doom. 13 turnovers for Althoff. East St. Louis, 8 turnovers in that first half. It was a close first quarter. East St. Louis only had a 2-point lead, 16-14, but boy, East St. Louis caught some fire in that second quarter. They outscored Althoff in that second quarter, 24-4, and that is why we stand where we do at 40-18. That's a look at your first half stats. We'll step aside, take a little bit of a break, come back, and second half action will come your way next on the Kahoks Sports Network.
Pack Mail, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail, 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call 346-4884.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, I'm Todd Duke alongside Zach Roseman as we continue our coverage, wall-to-wall coverage of this 35th annual Prairie Farms Holiday Basketball Tournament. We're almost halfway through the day's festivities. This is game number 4 of 8 games scheduled between East St. Louis and Althoff. We stand at halftime, a 22-point lead for the Flyers. Althoff gets the ball back as we are underway here in the second half. Crusaders with the ball. Well, not for long. Well, they did get it right back. And here is Reddy. It takes it off the glass for 2 points. Reedy. I don't know how to pronounce it. Red, or it's R-E-A-D, which is Reed, and then Y-E. Reedy. Shot. No good. Althoff gets the rebound. Here comes Ethan Brown. Brown brings it back in and then gets fouled, and that ball ends up getting ripped out of his hands right to one of the Flyers players, but the foul happened first. That foul belongs to Anderson, the 5'11 junior for East St. Louis. First foul here in this second half. Inbound pass comes into Greg Wells. Wells over on the far side gives it up to Bruning. Bruning into the corner for Brugner. And that ball ends up going out of bounds. Turnover for Althoff to go along with their 13 turnovers in the first half. Here is Anderson for East St. Louis. In the lane, puts on a spin move at the free throw line and got that shot to fall. Just Sean Anderson on the board for the first time. Here is Ethan Brown for Althoff. Brown throws it on up, gets it to Wells. Wells into the corner now and kicked back out for Brugner. 3-point shot, that one's good. A little offset right wing for Greg Wells. And right now, Althoff already have scored more points here in this quarter than they did all in the third quarter. Armand Williams tips in that rebound shot. And now the Flyers have matched the points. Here at the free throw line is Reedy. 44-25. 2 minutes gone here in this third quarter, and East St. Louis takes a timeout. Time to thank the Junior Service Club of Collinsville. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go help the needy in Collinsville. For more information on any event coming up, sponsored by or put on by the Junior Service Club of Collinsville, you can head to the Facebook page and type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and it'll take you right to their page. 6:07 left to play here in this third quarter. Flyers up 44-25 over the Althoff Crusaders out of Belleville, Illinois. Flyers with the ball. Here is Robinson. Loses the ball. Picked up by Althoff. Loses the ball. Picked up by East St. Louis. They throw the ball away. Back to Althoff. There was about 4 turnovers in about 2 seconds there. And it all ends up back into the hands of the Crusaders. Here is Dalton Brugner. He'll inbound to Greg Wells. Wells moves the ball up on the far wing. Brings it over here to the near wing. 3-point shot. That one's good from Jack Bruning. That makes it 44-28. Here's a 3-point answer. That one's just a little bit too hard for Richard Robinson. Rebound belongs to the Crusaders. They bring it up, and here is Wells again. Out to the top of the key for Bruning. Over on the far side, Brown dribbles, drives, and scores. Plus, he'll get a bonus opportunity as Richard Robinson commits his third foul. And that is the second team foul here in this second half by East St. Louis. So far, the Crusaders playing a clean game here in the second half. Free throw doesn't fall. And Armand Williams stood at the free throw line where the shooter just stood and caught that rebound. Now Williams from the corner for three. It bounces and then it finally rattles home. 47-30. 17-point lead for East St. Louis. Here is Brugner. Brugner gets it up to Bruning. And then a pass that was intended for Greg Wells, but Wells wasn't looking. Skips right past him, and the Flyers will try to take advantage of another Althoff turnover. Inbound pass comes in and goes right back to just Sean Anderson. Anderson takes it himself and then throws it away. .436 left to play here in this third quarter. 47-30. Flyers with the lead. Althoff with the ball. Inbound pass comes in from Brugner to, well, tipped back out of bounds by Richard Robinson. Now Brugner gets it into Bruning. And Bruning almost lost the handle of the ball, but he finds it. Ethan Brown into the paint. Shot. Mac Harris has that slap right back into his face. And that stops the clock with 4:23 left to play here in this third quarter. Inbound pass will come up this near side sideline into the backcourt. Jones bounces it right back to Oliveria. Oliveria over to Jones. Travion Jones in the perimeter. Kicks it back out now for LaFleur. Back to Jones. Three-point shot off to the right-hand side. Jones follows up his own rebound. Kicks it back out front to LaFleur. LaFleur, he launches a three-point shot. That hits nothing but net. Halfway through quarter number 3. 20-point lead once again for the Flyers. 50-30. Dalton Brugner, a 6'5" junior, bounces it across the timeline for Bruning. And a loose ball comes back out front, now into the corner. Three-point shot on the way. That one skips off the inside of the rim. And there with the rebound, it is Terrence Hargrove. Hargrove takes it all the way down himself. 2 points off the glass. 52-30 with 3.5 minutes to play here in this third quarter. Here's Brugner. Across the line. Gets it to Brown. Brown at the free throw line. Backs it up now for Wells. Back over to Brugner. He directs traffic. Dribbles his way into the perimeter. Now baseline. Shovel pass out of bounds. Saved by East St. Louis. Right to Hargrove. And then Hargrove has the ball bounce off of his leg. But that was right after Greg Wells reached in for a foul. So bad timing and bad luck there for Althoff, because Hargrove, as it turns out, was going to bounce that ball off of his foot and out of bounds. Would have been a turnover, but instead it stays in the hands of East St. Louis. Flyers move it up. Here's Jones off of his foot into the hands of Brugner. Brugner brings it up for Althoff across the timeline to Ake. Akey. There's just not a lot of time to get down onto the floor before these games tip off to find out pronunciations. I usually have an hour and 15 minutes before my game starts to take care of all that once I arrive, but when these tournaments are backed up like this, 15 minutes in between games, you don't have a lot of time to go out and seek out a coach to ask for pronunciations. So we kind of just wing it here. Here's Hargrove, spin move, just outside the lane, takes the shot, no good. Brugner there with the rebound for Althoff. Crusaders bring the ball back up court, trailing 52-33. 2:20 left to play here in this third quarter. Rebound comes all the way out. Three-point shot. That one hits the front of the rim, then the back of the rim, and finally falls through for Anthony Reed. That makes it 52-36. Flyers with the ball, and just beyond the free throw line, Richard Robinson drops one in. Althoff brings it up. Here is a pass intended for Mac Harris up this near side sideline. Ends up being knocked out of bounds as Ethan Brown checks back into the game for Althoff. He'll take the place of Greg Wells. Brown immediately gets the ball and immediately tries to score. Little dipsy doodle, can't get it to fall. Rebound on the ground and off of one of the Crusaders players, so the Flyers will take over. East St. Louis brings the ball back up. Here is Oliveria. Almost lost the handle on that one. Oliveria backs it up now to Jones. Jones over in the corner. Now back out to the top of the key for LaFleur. LaFleur backs it up. 80 seconds left to play here in this third quarter. Out to the top of the key for Baskin. Back to Hargrove. Hargrove will just launch a three from there. No one open, I'll just take it myself. Rebound belongs to Baskin. Now back to Hargrove in the lane, takes the shot off balance, can't get it to fall. Rebound belongs to Reed. He takes it coast to coast, can't get it to drop. Loose ball picked up out front by Brown. Over into the corner, Reed with another three-point shot, and he is fouled. And Anthony Reed will head to the free throw line after Kendez Baskin picks up his first foul. Each team with just 2 fouls here in this third quarter. Actually, that was the third one for East St. Louis. And with 50.7 seconds to play, to the free throw line is Anthony Reed. Hits the first one. Continues to up that 88% free throw shooting as he makes 2 of the 3. Connor Wilson checks into the game for the Crusaders. Reed hits all 3 of his free throws. 45 seconds left here in this third quarter. Here is Oliveria being watched by Reed to Hargrove. Hargrove is fouled. Trying to go up for a shot, had that ball stripped away, but not before body contact was made. Hargrove at, well, we're going to say no shooting foul. Hargrove gets the ball back, and a bluff three-point shot and a loose ball, but another foul coming up against Althoff. Hey, guilty of his foul. That was not in the process of a shot either. Hargrove gets the inbound pass with 30 seconds left to play here in this third quarter. Now LaFleur backs it up toward the midcourt stripe. East St. Louis trying to play for the final shot here in this third. Bluffs that move and almost left Connor Wilson with no sneakers. In the paint, shot taken. Count the bucket and the bruise as Travion Jones goes in on the left side. Hits the basket and will go to the line for a free shot, all with 3.4 seconds left. Travion Jones at the free throw line. Went 0 for 1 from the charity stripe in the first half. Makes up for it here. 57-39, 3.4 seconds. Ball off of Mack and a shot toward the buzzer, no good. 57-39 after 3 quarters of play. We'll take a break here on the Kahoks Sports Network and we'll have Some fourth quarter action for you next.
First National Bank of Waterloo. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo in O'Fallon for your mortgage and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, come see Bill Metzger at First National Bank of Waterloo. Call Bill at 618-632-1010 or visit him at 104 Regency Park in O'Fallon or online fnbwaterloo.com. That's my bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Pack Mail, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail, 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville, online, weshipstlouis.com, or call 346-4884.
Todd Duke, Zach Roseman back with you from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. 35th Annual Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. Almost about halfway through. We're in the fourth quarter of the fourth game. 8 games scheduled. Next up, Decatur MacArthur taking on the O'Fallon Panthers. It'll be the Generals versus the Panthers. If O'Fallon and Decatur Eisenhower hook up, we'll have a Panthers versus Panthers game. 3-point shot coming from the corner that skips over the rim, and a foul is going to be called against Dalton Brugner, I believe. He kind of just backed up right into the East St. Louis player, trying to create that box out space, but a little bit too much of the out and not enough of the box. 57-39, Flyers lead, and the Flyers have the ball. Here is Hargrove. Hargrove trying to underhand a pass to Anderson, but that misses the mark, and Althoff picks up the ball. Sliding across the floor there was Brugner, but no call as Wells, comes in and gets a little fingertip roll off the glass. It's a 16-point advantage for East St. Louis as Jones breaks a little triple team there, gives the ball up to Rice, and Rice hits a soft shot to make it 60-41. Across the timeline, here is Bruning. Bruning to Brugner. Now gets it up into the hands of Reedy, who gets it over to the wide open three-point shooting Greg Wells, who hits that one. That makes it 60-44. 6:45 left to play here in this fourth quarter. Winner moves on to take on Rockford East tomorrow morning at 10:30 in quarterfinal action on the winner's bracket side of things. Loser will move on to the auxiliary gym for consolation quarterfinal action tomorrow morning at 10:30 against Decatur Eisenhower. Carlton King gets his first points here in this game for East St. Louis. Inbound pass comes all the way into Elijah Rice. He'll launch a three-pointer from there. That misses the mark, and then the ball could not be corralled by Jack Bruning, and it ends up off of his toes and out of bounds. Anderson inbounds. Hargrove turns around, takes care of it. 2 more points for Hargrove. Hargrove now with 16 points here in this game. Althoff breaks that backcourt pressure. Bounce pass to Brown. Brown lost control of it. Picked up by Rice for the Flyers. He throws it up trying to find Hargrove. Instead, he finds the hands of Greg Wells. Wells takes it and is fouled in the paint. They're going to call a jump ball on that one. Possession arrow remains in favor of Althoff. Inbound pass comes in right off of the forehead of Patrick Reedy and right into the hands of East St. Louis, and that turns into a little Jashawn Anderson off the backboard into the hands of Hargrove, kind of a dunk. 66-44, 22-point lead for East St. Louis. Althoff has the ball on the inbound pass. Here is Ethan Brown. Brown hands the ball off to Brugner. Over to Wells. Over to Bruning. Bruning back out to Wells. Wells bluffs the three. Gives it to Bruning in the corner for three. That one skips across the front part of the rim. Rebound belongs to Hargrove. Hargrove moves the ball back up. Had that ball knocked out of his hands by Wells, but right into the hands of Elijah Rice. No call on the traveling there. Here is Wells. He drives, baseline shot, no good. Rebound right down into the hands of Hargrove, who gives it up for Anderson. Anderson kicks it into the corner. Here comes a three-point shot. That's drained by Travion Jones. And it's now a 69-44 game in favor of East St. Louis. Here come the Flyers. Wells for three. That one skips but won't fall. Rebound falls into the hands of Travion Jones. Jones to Anderson. Anderson to Hargrove. Hargrove went up for the dunk but didn't take the ball with him because Ethan Brown knocked it out of his hands on the way up. .426 left to play here in this fourth quarter. 69-44. East St. Louis Flyers with the lead. Inbound pass coming in from Anderson. He finds Jones. And Jones from the corner gives it up to Elijah Rice, and Rice hits a three. 72-44. Across the timeline it goes. Spin move, Wilson. Almost lost control of that ball. Now he brings it on up the wing and into the corner. Here comes a three-point shot from Anthony Reed. That misses the mark. Rebound put back up, but not in. And now we're going to have a whistle. And a foul against Mac Harris. Halfway through quarter number 4. Over halfway through game number 4, which puts us almost at the halfway point of day number 1. At the free throw line, Elijah Rice. Rice, his first trip to the charity stripe here in this one. And no good. Mac Harris with the rebound, gets it up to Reed. Reed, a bounce pass in the corner for Wilson. Wilson takes it out of the corner after a couple of bump offs and a loose ball. Knocked out of bounds by Althoff, so they turn the ball over again. Althoff had 13 turnovers in that first half. .335 left to play. Fourth quarter. Next up, Decatur MacArthur and O'Fallon. That game is scheduled to get underway at 4 o'clock. We'll be late, as it's 10 minutes till 4 now, and there's 15 minutes in between games. 3 points for Elijah Rice once again. That's back-to-back three-pointers from the same spot for Rice. Here is Connor Wilson. He'll get the ball up into the hands of Anthony Reed, and Reed is immediately fouled by Carlton King. Flyers looking to move on to a battle with Rockford. That should be a very good game. East St. Louis and Rockford East. Be anxious to see that game tomorrow morning at 10:30. I'll be here. You don't have to be. KHOKsports.com is available on your smartphone, laptop, desktop, smart TV. As Wilson hits one to make it 75-46 in favor of East St. Louis. 2:20 left to play here in this fourth quarter. Jashawn Anderson has the ball for the Flyers. Takes it in on the right wing and fakes a move to the corner. That ball rolled around that rim about 5 times before it finally fell through. That makes it 77-46. Under 2 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. Anthony Reed falls down while backing his way into the zone. And Althoff turns the ball over again. Inbound pass from Andre Gillespie, and he gets it right back. Gillespie has it at the free throw line. Get that out of here. Smack of that ball by Connor Wilson. And Wilson ends up with the loose ball, but then he turns it over after hitting his own shoe with it. And then East St. Louis turns it over on a pass intended for Jalen Jones, and it just glances off of his arm and out of bounds. They'll run the rest of this clock out as the inbound pass comes from down at the other end of the floor. Connor Wilson just taps the ball into Julian Patterson. 3-point shot coming and made by Alec Falk, the 5'10 junior seeing action for the first time. We'll get his name in the newspaper tomorrow. 77-49. Flyers, almost a steal, and now we're going to have a push from behind called against Connor Wilson, and then a little retaliation there by Kentrell Cox. So we should have the initial foul, and then we should have a technical foul. They did stop the clock with 23.6 seconds left, so they can get all this figured out. Still trying to get it figured out. Well, both teams are going back to their benches while the referees gather and try to figure this out. Let's thank the Collinsville Education Association while we have a moment. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website. That would be collinsvillecea.org. Let's see what they figured out here. Well, we knew Connor Wilson was going to get called for a foul. At this point, it really doesn't matter. It's 77-49. Let's just get on and get this game over with here, kids. So Andre Gillespie will be shooting 2. But it's not a technical foul, so they can get the guys up along the line if they want. All right, Gillespie to the free throw line. Shooting 2. They start the clock back up. And that one's good. And if he gets another shot off, it'll be close to the buzzer. Gillespie with 8 seconds left. Misses. Rebound. It goes out of bounds, but that's going to do it. 78-49 is the final score. East St. Louis wins this one, and that'll put them into winners bracket quarterfinal action tomorrow morning at 10:30 here on the main floor. And the Althoff Crusaders will drop over to the consolation side of the bracket, and they will be in the auxiliary gymnasium tomorrow morning at 10:30 as they take on Decatur Eisenhower. We are going to step aside, shut things down for just a few moments, as we get you set for the next game. That comes up between Decatur MacArthur and O'Fallon next on the K-Hawk Sports Network.